Greetings. My name is Murtaza Hirer and I'm a professor of real estate management at Ryerson University. And along with your professor Claire Chua, we are presenting some videos to help you learn statistics, especially as they are applied to business analytics. In this particular video, we will illustrate how to draw box-whisker plot, which is a graphical technique to represent data. Its purpose is to demonstrate the distribution of data sets, so how the data looks like, especially it is related to one variable, so it's not necessarily about a data set, but essentially about a particular variable, and that variable has to be a continuous or a ratio variable, and we display it graphically, and at the same time we are able to show outliers in the data set. A box-whisker plot is drawn from a set of 5 statistics, which is a 5-number summary of the data set, and we will show you how to construct a box-whisker plot and, more importantly, how to interpret the box plot. Notice that the box measures the central tendency, especially median. The other one would be mean and mode, but it shows median and mean and measures of variance, for example, the range, or what we call the interquartile range, and it does not display standard deviation though. And it also shows the shape of the data set. The 5-number summary that I mentioned earlier, it consists of the minimum value, what's a minimum value in your data set, and then again what's a maximum value at the other end. And then Q1 would be the 25th percentile, median is always the 50th percentile, and Q3 is the 75th percentile. So minimum, 25th, 50th, 75th, and the maximum. So if you look at the box-whisker plot, you will see first the box, and the top of the box is the 75th percentile, or Q3. The bottom of the plot is Q1, and we usually draw a line in the middle to illustrate the median, and if there are no outliers, the maximum point is shown with an extension of a line, and a minimum point is shown with the extension of another line. If you have to draw a box-whisker plot, we start with drawing the box-whisker plot by drawing the box. So you have the Q1 and the Q3. The thickness does not necessarily represent anything. It could have been narrower and it would have presented the same information. But it's the Q1, Q3. You draw this and then the box is formed. The next step is to assign or demonstrate mean value with a plus sign. You may or may not see this illustrated, but there's an option. But what you will always see in a box-whisker plot is a line in the box that shows you where the median lies. So you have the Q1 and the median and the Q3, and occasionally a plus sign to show where the mean value is. Now, how do you draw the whiskers? Before you draw the whiskers, you have to know the fences, and these are called the left inner fence, LIF, the left outer fence, the right inner fence, and the right outer fence. And the whiskers, you have to follow 2 rules. They cannot pass the inner fences, so they have to lie, the whiskers have to lie in the inner fences, and they must end at a data point. So here you go. So we have a data point, we draw it, and then draw a line, and then make a T out of it for the whiskers, and the other whisker would be on the minimum side. Now, once you have the whiskers, the other question then arises, and that's about what to do with the points that lie beyond the fences or the inner fences. So basically you have to identify outliers and suspect outliers. Suspect outliers are the values that fall between the inner and outer fences, and we usually denote them by a circle. And the outliers, the real outliers, are beyond the outer fences, and we use an asterisk to represent them. So going back to the same image, the inner the values that are beyond the inner fences but within the outer fence, you put a circle there and an asterisk to represent the outlier. Now the question is, how do you compute the inner or outer fences? Well, you can use a formula, and the formula is rather simple. That is that for the, let's say, the left inner fence, you take the Q1 and subtract 1.5 times the interquartile range, and in the inner quartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So Q1 minus the 1.5 times inner quartile range gives you the left inner fence, and Q3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range gives you the right inner fence. And then the right outer fence is the right inner fence plus 1.5 times IQR, and the left outer fence is left inner fence, which is this, minus 1.5 times the IQR, which is this minus this, and you get the left outer fence. So in summary, in the absence of outliers, a simple box whisker plot would look like the following. You will have a box. This is Q1, this is Q3, this is median, 50th percentile, and these are the whiskers.